I started painting the Matilda Effect series last year, realising I need to focus more on women's achievements. They're named after Matilda Joslyn Gage, a 19th century suffragist and colonist who documented women's achievements. And the Matilda Effect was coined in 1993 by science historian Margaret Rossiter. They're painted on relevant domestic items, providing context to the tension between how women are traditionally seen and the trailblazers they are. What little women's documented achievements we have, among that of other less documented groups, is being erased from history, so we need to preserve it. It's Salon hung as if in someone's parlour, to go with the domestic theme. This is Matilda Joslyn Gage and her home in Fayetteville, New York, which is now a museum. I have a show there to open March 23rd, tomorrow, with her birthday celebrations. It's on through the end of May, if you know anyone in the area. There will be a premiere performance of Matilda Voices written by Kate Ayres, and the Matilda book is currently being written by Kiri Eaton, an historian who works there. And we're using my art as the illustrations. I was selected by the Arts Commission for the Spring Arts Walk cover. I chose Josephine Corliss Preston. She lived in the latter 1800s and to mid-1900s. She was a local educator, so is painted on an exercise book cover. She was the first woman superintendent of public instruction. She improved housing and rural teachers, which is why I chose her. This piece and others will be showing at OSA Skinworks during Arts Walk. I'm just going to run through some Matildas just so you can get an idea of just a few of them, my favourites. This is Wang Zhenyi. She lived in the 1700s, sorry. She was self-taught because women weren't allowed to study. And she figured out why we have solar and lunar eclipses. She's painted on a serving tray. Hedy Lamarr co-invented frequency hopping technology we use for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and GPS, and she's painted on a motherboard. We have Henrietta Swan Leavitt, who figured out how to map the distance between the stars using photographic plates. She wasn't allowed to use a telescope in the university where she worked. Hubble eventually furthered her findings and was given credit. I don't know if he intended for that to happen, but he didn't tell everyone otherwise, so it was on a serving plate. We have just two more. Marsha P. Johnson was a gay rights activist at Stonewall and helped LGBTQIA plus kids sleeping on the street. She's painted on I call it a know your placemat. And lastly, we have Lynn Conway, who's a computer scientist, electrical engineer, transgender activist. She condensed computer chips and made computers more efficient. She was sacked by IBM when she transitioned, and they apologised 50 years later. And I've done her on a phone case because she is the reason why we have these small devices in our pocket. Thank you, Lynn. All right, so check out my website if you want to see other art and upcoming events, and thank you for coming this evening and supporting the arts.